The three-time champions are in town with the largest ambitions in sports. After a three-peat, why not try to make it four? Completing the three-peat last year a feat of its own, making the City of Champions thrilled to have another dynasty, but with only 30% of that roster from last year's championship returning, can the Free Jacks find themselves in position to hoist that precious shield once again? The Old Mate, the Supporters Cup, is on the line from Torero Stadium here in San Diego, California. The New England Free Jacks on the road to take on the California Legion. Alongside Mike Petrie, Joey Lindstrom. Mike, let's waste no more time getting right into the rosters. California with one game already under their belt.
They've already got one game under their belt, and they make 3 changes to that side that lost to Anthem last week. Ed Timpson will stay the engine room at number 8. Billy Meeks makes his debut for California this season, welcoming back after spending some time over in Chicago with the Hounds. That's a big name, and they are really excited to have him back in their lineup.
For this Legion group, it's a bit of a mixed bag. You also mentioned Billy Meeks there for New England. This is a group that has only returned 30% of their championship roster. They lose a couple of big names. Who's going to stand out for you today?
Yeah, that's right. They have 6 players making their debut tonight, but they have held on to some fan favorites. The face of the franchise, if you follow social media, Kyle Sequeira, he'll line up alongside USA Eagle Caleb Geiger up front. More on him momentarily. And New England fans will be thrilled to have Captain Joe Johnston back again to lead the charge for that unheard of 4th consecutive MLR title hunt that begins today.
You mentioned Caleb Geiger. There is the big hoss ready to make some hay here with this New England group alongside the newcomer, Nathan Salmon, highly acclaimed in his first year in the MLR. They're going to have to be big today, Mike.
That's right, and it's the names we keep hearing over and over again. Every time we have a conversation with people in that New England Free Jacks camp, these 2 names come up. Caleb Geiger, one of the hardest workers in the team. He's got big shoes to fill to replace the outgoing Rugby Canada, Andrew Quatrin up front. And then Nate Salmon, they've equated him to just this personality within the team. You may or may not have followed the England rugby star, Henry Pollock. That is, the epitome of what you want to see all over your television screen. He's got the attitude, the skills, and everything else. And by all accounts, that's the same news we're getting about what to expect from that young man as he makes his debut for New England today.
Might be a fish going upstream, Mr. Nathan Salmon. There's California Legions. They make their debut in the second of 5 different home venues across the great state of California. It's all next. The Supporters Cup is on the line. The Old Mate might find some new mates if New England can hold on. Be back with you after the break.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
This evening's broadcast is brought to you by CTMS Travel, the official travel partner of Major League Rugby. Stop managing travel, start moving. A beautiful day in San Diego. There are far worse places to have a rugby match, especially a home rugby match. And while California Legion would love to get this place a legendary stadium in its own right, Torero Stadium, as more than one home game, they'll take it here for the day. There is our head man from the referee spot, Mike Lawrenson, at 4 matches with the MLR last year as the head referee. Half of those were with the New England Free Jacks. And there is the rest of our crew: Chris Asmus, Will Nelson, the assistants, and Austin Reed, the in-stadium rules official.
Little cameo there in the background from former USA Eagle fly half Balanese Malifa walking out delivering the game balls.
Good eye.
With some of the kids. Yep, Nesse's been around in the coaching ranks throughout the MLR, and so good to see him make a cameo right before kickoff.
These two teams, if you really want to get tactical about the series history, they don't have any. This is the first matchup between the newly formed California Legion and the New England Free Jacks. Winners of 3 MLR Shields in a row. We have gotten started right out the gate. The home Reds for the California Legion and the road Whites for the New England Free Jacks. Going to be some early signs for you, Mike, that you want to see from both sides.
I think one of the themes that came up for both teams was physicality. It was a really important theme for all these teams across the board. Very short preseason, lots of boxes to tick, but every coach talked about physicality. You got to start aggressive. You got to lay that tone down and lay a marker down very early. And we see right out of the gates, though, New England opting not to kick, which is expected usually off those kickoffs. It goes deep around the 22, and instead they have a run to the outside channel, get the ball in Mitch Wilson's hands, and now, already, very early, they're camped out on the California Legion 40-meter mark.
Okay, stay now.
Territory being a big part of the reason why Ryan Martin felt like this group was able to take advantage, especially in the playoffs. Lineout's another category to gain advantage in this. But now when you have a lot of new faces, you're starting to gel, they've had a couple scrimmages under their belt. What's going to be some of those early signs of kind of working out the kinks here, Mike, in the early goings?
Yeah, I think even just in situations like this, you get a free kick right away off the line out. A little bit of hesitation. I think in these senses, you just want to have a little bit more urgency. I know it's very early in the game, but you get that mark, the referee gives it to you, go ahead and play, but they start very simple, go into their systems, get into their shape.
So Oscar Lennon is the scrum half, the number 9 for this group. You see him involved on most plays in these kind of instances. Shared forward, nice little run on. Higgins there, passes one more. One-timer there for Lennon, and it's carried down just ahead of maybe the 10-meter mark if you want to be specific. New England on the run to start out. Joe Johnston was in there as well as Jacob Norris. Norris, a Maori All Black as well. New England looks to be heavy on the advantage for Ryan Martin's squad. Stephen Hoyles of California really wants this group to be knuckled down and disciplined. Flipped back and now reaches the touchline. I'll stay with the Free Jacks.
And you threw that word discipline out. That was another thing that coaches repeated throughout our conversations, was discipline being really important. And how about this break, though, from New England right out of the gates? I mean, some good-looking continuity there, good offloads out of contact, all out the back, sort of backhanded passes there, so really sharp. And how about this? New England, a penalty directly in front of the posts. Very early in the game, you're less than 3 minutes in, you're on the road, and you go to the corner. That is pretty bold. That is very bold. But when you're a 3-time defending champion, you could do stuff like that.
When you have Joel Hodgson at your number 10, you can also feel confident that he's going to place that ball exactly where you need it to be, as we're going to start to muscle each other up here at the 5-meter.
Okay, now use it.
Oscar Lennon works behind the grouping. New England looks well in system and in form, dodging a bullet there on the sideline. Taken down was Nathan Salmon as he got disrupted, and Ryan James is there to try to wiggle his way through for California as the referee Mike Lawrenson stops play once again.
Joey, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and I think New England flirted with it very, very early in this game. 3 minutes in, you want to lay a marker down. You want to get that reputation of, yes, they're a very changed side, lots of new faces. Like you said, 30% retention rate, a lot of confident people in that group. You're coming off the back end of 3 title wins, and you go to the corner and you give up that opportunity for 3 points. Me personally, I would have taken 3 points when they're on offer right away. Just get 3 points on the board just to start the game off.
Wait.
So it's possession for California. Gonzalo Bertrand works it back, and it's kicked
Backwards.
to gain some territory, and Nathan Salmon scoops it there for New England. Works back to 15 in white. Mitch Wilson, the fullback, and the Aussie. A large and
Stay.
as New England works back, find yourself trying to get back into a 4-peat position with only 30% of your roster returning, 70% of the guys being new. There's a culture shift that needs to take place, Mike, and they're finding that. But we see already standard New England fashion with that confidence playing. You said there's a fine line there. You want to make sure that, of course, you're playing confident, not arrogant. This group seems to be well informed already, and
Leave it.
steaming already for this opener.
Use it. Yeah, balls out.
What's the advantage, though, for California with 1 game under their belt already, having even lost that game coming into week 2?
Yeah, a couple things I think for California right now. First and foremost, we mentioned Billy Meeks at the top of the show, stepping back into this lineup. Now, he's not unfamiliar on the West Coast. He has played some rugby in Los Angeles, but, you know, former 7-star for the Wallabies, former back of the year in Major League Rugby. He's a household name at this point. And so to have him in your lineup, as you see him there on screen, putting his hand up, calling for reinforcements in the number 12 shirt, I mean, that's a big boost. And then, like you said, playing in Torero Stadium doesn't get any better than that for Legion fans.
Nice pooch forward. It's going to be held up nicely there by Rory Van Voot. Started every game in Atlanta with 8 minutes to the MLR Championship Final in 2021. Taking his talents here to California.
Joe.
Well, how about this?
Make sure if you
Corner of the
yeah?
New England Free Jacks, Patrick Chung. A hard-hitting safety from back in the day. Make sure you join the conversation with the MLR. Hashtag MLR 2026. Great to see. Last night, Marshawn Lynch on the Seattle Seawolves popped up. Nice little play forward. Heading that down is Nathan Salmon, and it trickles out of play.
Goal line drop out.
Gonna be a goal line opportunity here. Out of their own end, rather, for California.
Behind your kicker.
And New England is showing that they're playing into that second layer of attack very early. They've done that several times so far, played into those wide channels on the outside, and they're finding space in behind. They have a lot of opportunity in their back line with playmakers that can have that run, pass, kick option. And so they're looking up and they're seeing space. You just got to be careful in the stadium because it's such short in-goal area.
Spent a lot of time on the right side of our halfway line. New England clearly playing an advantage, trying to muscle their way through for some points early in this one. That's Keenan Higgins, the center from Upper Hutt, New Zealand. Works down Mitch Wilson, the fullback on the outside, along with Nathan Salmon.
Slowing it down.
Oscar Lennon, a well-traveled player, and been with Bristol. He can kick off both feet as well. Competing with Ethan McVeigh for that number 9 spot in preseason and winning the job, at least for the first week. Opportunity here to place further here for New England.
Option.
And this has to have been something they talked about as a team. You've mentioned that they've enjoyed all the territory and all of the possession for this entirety of 8 minutes so far in this match. And they go to the corner again. That was well within kicking range for Joel Hodgson. We've seen him time and time again slot those easily. And instead they go to the corner. And again, they miss an opportunity. So far, 2 kicks at goal that they could have had. They could have had, at that point, 6 points on the board if you count them both. Missed both. So walking away with nothing at this point. And, you know, again, big statements from New England very early in this game.
You saw Billy Meeks grace the screen there as well. 73 appearances in the MLR of 4 different teams. He was on Rugby Football Club LA last year. Played for Chicago in 2023 and 2024, an all-15 selection. He's going to be big today in his first action after returning from injury. And what a great special our production team, in combination with OS and MLR, put together for that Billy Meeks video with our benevolent technical director, Will Hooley. Did you get a chance to check that out? He's up at 4 a.m. shotgunning Red Bulls. No, I'm just kidding. But that's something you might do.
I think he's still on Australian time, maybe, because that is just wild. I mean, I like to think that. Look at this, California going way over the top. I love that.
I can't have you have the throw when you aren't even in the line. Let's have it again.
Of course, he's working out. Also, it's a coffee shop in Orange County. A really cool story out of Billy Meeks. What happened here, Mike?
If you own a coffee shop, you got to be there early. But you can see, we've mentioned his name a few times. You got to put the ball in his hand, and that's exactly what they try to do. They just throw that ball right over the top, try to catch New England sleeping, and throw it straight to Meeks.
Joe T, American Samoan, the hooker to throw in.
Stone in the maul. Play on. Stone in the maul.
Those soft-spoken guys, a unique sense of when things get hard. He's got the shiny teeth, according to Stephen Hoyles. And this team had their fair share of adversity last week, as this is kicked way deep, and California will have to get out of their own end. Colby Milne, Australian Western Force product, in his first MLR action, boots this one away. A little extra curricular there.
It's going to be a free kick.
Mike Lawrence is not going to have any of that along the touchline, and California will at least have it in their possession in the offensive zone.
It hasn't gone 5 meters in the pass. It's a free kick. It's a free kick, guys. Back 10. It's a free kick. It didn't go 5.
You see the call that time from our referee. That's twice that California has tried to go quick at these lineouts. The first one was that throw over the top to Meeks, and this one just doesn't go 5 meters in. That's one of the rules. You have to get it past that 5 meter mark. There's a little line there that our referee's attentive to, and so if that had gone, that could have been a big break for California, but instead, a free kick to New England.
Great crowd on hand as well here at Torero Stadium. It is goose eggs on the board. No blood drawn so far. Why do you think that is so far, Mike? Both these teams trying to figure themselves out, work out the kinks here in the early part of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, we're very early in this game. You've seen intent from New England, though. They want to score. They want to play wide. They're playing into their layers. California is a very similar type of team, but now we're seeing both teams sort of settle in around midfield, put some kicks in and through, and try to just move the opposition around the field to find some opportunities to play.
That's Joel Hodgson booting that ball forward, trading punting here. Hodgson coming over from Utah. He is currently the second highest point total holder among active players coming over from Utah. 329 points, a huge addition, and really a replacement for Jason Patra of New England lore. That was going to be a big hole to fill. This group lost a ton of impact players. Think about Paolo Bellincano, who led the league in scoring a season ago, at least, and also led in tries. This group was not hurting, but they needed to reload instead of rebuild.
They absolutely did. And that time, you got a good look at someone who's stepping into that role of wing for New England. Nathan Salmon, we talked about him a little bit, just fronts up on Lance Williams. Lance Williams is an absolute unit, just running down that near touchline. And Nate Salmon just stepped right in front of him, gave him a shoulder, and then drew the penalty for his team. California trying to play a little bit too quickly, leaves their feet. And so a great opportunity here for New England, which is unfortunately thrown over the top, though.
Caleb Geiger loses the handle on it. Ryan James a little hezzy, and he tries to work through on the line break near the halfway line. It's scooped up by Billy Meeks.
That's right.
Nice little fake out there from Ryan James. USA Eagle squad hunter. Played back on the outside, work down there. That's Lance Williams, the flanker. And Bertrand now wants to move so quickly for this group just to get back on offense. That was evident last week against Anthem. They just weren't able to get the ball down.
Wait, Red.
For points.
Okay, White, come back. Out the space,
That ball
White.
booted high in the air. Played back and down. Wrestling Roy Van Voot down is New England.
Use it.
Mitch Wilson and Oscar Lennon both getting involved.
Ball's available. Stay here.
Down and dirty through the first 13.5 minutes. New England nearly had their best offensive, nearly had to try their best offensive possession coming in the first few minutes. And California has held up on defense with relative ease, especially when it comes down to that final 5 meters.
Holding on.
And Mike Lawrenson.
Isolated. No, it's over there where he was holding on.
Another penalty this time, go back to Legion.
And that's a penalty that the California Legion desperately needed. They had been playing a lot of defense, like you said. They've been digging their cleats in the grass there and holding strong, but they have not had a lot of possession and they have not had a lot of territory. And so now they really get a chance to punch this one deep, and we'll see where the mark is. Just outside of New England's 22. Actually, not a great mark that time, so closer to the 40, in fact.
Yeah, mate, stay there, please.
So they'll change their tactics a little bit in terms of what they throw here, but you can expect a little bit of dazzle from California right now as they finally have a chance to launch their first attacking platform from this line out.
This feels like
interfere with the transfer, jumping across
an element of change coming in the way that this game has started to evolve a little bit, with New England really just being shot out of a cannon to start this one. Now, you find yourself, if you're California Legion, in a position, you get a good phase here. Mike, you might be able to find yourself your first try. As Milne puts toe to leather to try to plot down for more territory.
And Joey, I think that going back to those decisions very early in the game now, we're 15 minutes gone. New England still, with you mentioned that donut on the scoreboard. There's got to be a part of them that wants to go back and get at least 3 from one of those kicks, from those penalties, and instead they're backed up against their own goal line right now.
No contest.
The Supporters Cup is on the line. It remains with the champion to start the season, the Old Mate. Somebody's going to have a cold one out of that Stein by the end of it. Maybe it's California where they can hold it. Here's Bircher now. Unsettled situation. Trying to get it into Meeks. And the whistle's blown just ahead of the 5.
Let's come back for a penalty here. Side entry.
And that's 3 penalties in a row now against New England. California has just been walking upfield, kick after kick, two touch. And California is going to go to the corner. So both teams, again, showing that intent to play, showing that intent that they don't want to put points on the board by kicking. They want to punch it in, especially for California. They want to give their fans something to cheer for. And now they've got to go to work. But that was a clear side entry at the maul. So California gets another shot at this one.
Way up top goes the captain, Jason Daum.
Hold it.
Everybody trying to muscle forward. The big hog mollies up front. It's Joe Tafate carrying right now, trying to reach forward for that try. And Mike Lawrenson trying to determine where all the bodies fell.
Okay, we're going to do a referee-initiated review.
And there you hear it. It's great to have the access that we do, especially with Mike Lawrenson being mic'd up throughout the entire matchup. He's basically the 3rd member of our broadcast crew. And with the new referee review system, he's going to take a second look, Mike. Big Joe T. Came over from NOLA along with Chase Jones, who's also on this side for the Legion.
Good, I'm ready. Okay, we're just looking to see
another look. What'd you see here?
All right, number 2 has
lots of bodies. Let's see what they can come up with, but lots of red, lots of white, and this is the right call. Go to
show me the angle from the back, please.
The television review and see what we can do about getting this call right, especially for the first score of the game.
Quite the luxury to have
okay, show me another angle, please.
I should just let him.
All right, I haven't seen a good angle yet. See this one here? I don't see where the ball is. Yeah, it's number 2 over here. So it looks like he's fallen short of the line and then reached and scored. So I'm happy to award the try. There was no held up, so it's clearly on the line. So I'm going to award a try.
Yeah. And this is that guy again. Roll that.
Whistle in mouth, hand up.
Yeah, I'm happy with the try then. Okay. Thank you. Have a decision. Thank you.
Let's find out what Mike Lawrence and company
After the
decided.
referee initiated review, the ball carrier was short of the line and then reached in one movement to score the try, so the try is awarded to Legion.
5 points for California Legion.
So you gotta try it.
Scott Green joins us now. And Scott, what'd you see there? Legion get their 5.
Yeah, Joey, thanks for having me, mate. Well explained there by referee Mike Lawrenson. The player was tackled short of the line, and they are allowed to reach out in any direction one time and place the ball. So in this situation, he was tackled short of the goal line and was allowed to reach forward and place the ball over the goal line and scored the try. So yeah, great work there by Mike Lawrenson.
And the kick successful as well. So opening points go to California Legion. And that has got to be gut-wrenching for New England, who, again, had that opportunity to take that lead very early on. But instead, California turns this game on a dime. The fans are happy. The Legion faithful are in attendance, banging their drums. I'll tell you what, this is a tough place to play. I mentioned last night when I was watching Starfire, it's a tough place. But Torero and the California Legion home there, that is a very tough venue to go and play in. It's a bit rowdy.
And how about that? We got the MLR fan cam as well. We'll talk about the access that these fans are getting. Maybe some trouble here for California Legion. That ball was way off from Kobe Milne.
Yeah, it's gonna be a scrum.
Mike Lawrenson indicating that there was offsides. And want to give a shout to Scott Green. Thank you for joining us. He's a resident rules expert as well that will join the broadcast from time to time. Our decorated referee himself and player. Thanks, Scott, for his time. Scrum here with California up 7-0.
Okay.
A try scored by big number 2, Joe Tavate.
Okay, wait for
England a couple chances offensively. Being patient over the last 10 or so minutes. Carried down there for Oscar Lennon and worked back. This time to Max Lehman. That ball's loose. Picked up nicely by Lance Williams, the flanker. And Williams trying to break free through that line as he's wrestled down. Still in possession here for California.
Okay, roll.
Christian Poidevin,
Roll. No, it's over there.
a 2025 San Diego Legion player of the season last year. And a former MLR champ with the Giltinis back in 2021. A son of Wallabies legend and 1991 RWC winning captain Simon Poidevin. Kobe Milne will put total leather once again. So nearly 20 minutes gone, Mike. We just saw our first try. From where we started to where we are now, what's changed here?
The whole tempo has changed in favor of California, and I think a lot of it has to do with a deflated New England team for not going for those points very early on. I'm going to keep coming back to it.
Hydration break here for our players on the pitch. We'll be back with you after a short commercial.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
comes in a little bit after it started rolling. I can't stop that, but
The MLR fan cam is alive and well. We've got people online interacting as well. West Coast, best coast. Well, I don't know about that. Both native New Yorkers now. You're more native than I am. I'm born in Chicago, but East Coasters, we might have something to say about that.
With all due respect, no thanks. Nope.
I wouldn't hate to be in the warm weather all the time, but there's something about the gritty East Coast that makes it so great. But I also agree it's great to visit the West Coast.
I agree. It's a nice place to visit.
You spent a number of years in California too.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It is really it's a beautiful part of the world. Some amazing people there. But when we talk about best coast, I think there's only one that we know is the best coast. And again, respectfully to all of our Californians out there.
it's slow.
Butch himself. There goes Gonzalo Bertrand trying to break through the line. We saw a similar play last week against Anthem, and California came up short, but Stephen Hoyles feels like those are the types of conversions that we can make. Here's Bertrand once again. The Argentinian trying to make hay off to Billy Meeks.
Good steal.
Wants to go quickly.
Don't get a roll. Don't get a roll.
And New England wins the possession back off the tackle. Gonzalo, by the way, like Argentine, over 1,200 passes, the most in the league, and by some distance. Second was Seattle's J.P. Smith, who threw 842 last year. That's 407 fewer than Bertrand. This guy wants the ball and facilitates like none other. And Mike, you were a 9 for most of your career, yes? So what's that role like when it comes to being able to be that facilitator and also a scorer at times?
Yeah, and I just have to say, he's so much fun to watch. He brings such flair to the game, and that's why he's such a dynamic and exciting player. And you know, that's what they're trying to bring by adding him into the mix. I mean, he's got so much experience in playing for Argentina. They're trying to just push the tempo of the game. And what their head coach said, Stephen Hoyles, was everyone else has to just catch up to him. And you can see he's just constantly pushing tempo. He controls the pace of their play, and that's exactly what they're getting out of him at their playmaker position.
How about the forwards getting up right now to try to carry, to gain a little bit more position here for California. There's Meeks from the outside, working towards the backs. That's Cole Semu, drafted 28th overall in the 2024 MLR draft. Played his collegiate ball at BYU. Was drafted by the Utah Warriors. And now with this new addition, MLR, especially with respect to the California Legion, there's a lot of different players that needed new homes for the 2026 season, and they found them. A lot of the California-based teams found their way here to the Legion. There's Kobe Milne. Played forward, number 10 being such an impactful piece. Talked about the number 9 being a great facilitator. Number 10 really stirs the drink. Nice little run by Ryan James, just trying to charge through. He could be crafty with the ball, according to Stephen Hoyles. Dave Dennis, the assistant. Those guys, in their first season together with LA in 2021, they brought home that championship.
Leave it now, you lost your feet, leave it, White.
And trying to bring that winning pedigree back to California and take away a championship from the East Coast. They can make a great first impression with winning the Supporters Cup here today. Working around the outside, nicely done and pass. That's Joey Mano on the run. Gets the one more scoop to Kobe Milne. He's wrestled down about 10 meters out. What a run on the outside, but New England gains it back.
And that was absolute class from California. It was the pump fake that drew that defensive line up, and then they went straight over the top of it into that outside channel. They just couldn't get support players there in time, and they were tracked down by New England. That's one thing that New England has always been able to rest their hat on, is that they will track you down, they will hunt you, and that's why they have won so many titles in this league, because they are relentless in defense. And as you know, defense wins championships.
It sure has for New England over the last few years. Picked up off the hop there by Mitch Wilson.
Okay, wait, hands off, hands off, hands off. Last feet, hold here.
So on that last sequence, Mike, to those who may not be privy to what that call was and why it was the why the turnover happened. And you enlighten the folks at home.
Yeah, so that California made that big break down the sideline. When you go into those collisions and contact situations, you have to release the ball. As you heard our referee Scott Green say, you get one movement. Generally speaking, your movement is backwards towards your own team, but then it becomes a free ball. So New England in that situation, they had numbers on scene. They have a right to try to steal the ball. They had their hands on it. California wasn't there in time. Turnover towards New England, so they get awarded the penalty.
That's number 6 just going off his feet into the rock, yeah? I need some effort to stay on feet.
Some of the New England Free Jacks.
Yeah, that one is clear that he could do better there, okay?
Ryan Martin there on the left. It's a stosh, not a stash, that's for sure.
And that's Rugby Canada legend there, Josh Larson on the right-hand side, former captain of this New England Free Jack side now, enters their coach's booth. So different role for him for sure, but quite a career he's had, both for Canada and here in New England. So he's someone that we talk about fan favorites for the Free Jacks. He's got to be up there. I believe he might be Free Jack #1, if I'm not mistaken. He might be the first cap Free Jack, and therefore a lot of history that comes along with him.
We'll get stats and info on that. Played back, Meeks working around the outside. Nice move by Van Voot. And Rory trotted down there. Bertrand gets it once again. Billy Meeks ahead. Here's into the 22, goes California. Bertrand wrestled down.
No advantage, play on, there's no advantage.
California is starting to feel like they've really taken this matchup by storm. Meeks trying to work through. New England lost their first 3 matches of the year last season before taking over. Bertrand plops this one inside the 5, and a free kick coming.
Good defense by New England, just taking away all those options, forcing Bertrand to put that kick over the top, and a good take that time by New England. But one thing I will say, in conversations with the California Legion coach, with Steve Hoyles, throughout the week, he said that we weren't good enough at the breakdown at ruck time in their loss to Anthem last week. They weren't efficient, they weren't effective. And what I've seen so far out of this Legion offense is that they're finding seams. They're making the first defender miss very often. And what that's doing is it's allowing them to have really quick ball, and that's putting New England under pressure. But again, this New England defense, they scramble so well. They have that bend, don't break sort of policy. And so far, with the exception of that one maul, California's had a lot of possession recently, but not a lot to show for it.
It really was a frenetic start for them, and we haven't seen a ton of possession past the halfway line for this New England team. High in the air for Lance Williams. What a push by Legion into the 22-meter. Find themselves in the red zone once again. Somebody's got to be around. How about Big Joe? Tafate plays it down for Kenzo, number 4 in red. Bertrand sweeps inside to Kobe Milne. Milne picks it up. Look what I found. It's a try.
No, went backwards by White.
He's new to MLR, but not new to scoring. The former Western Force fly half, Kobe Milne, doing work and getting California to extend their lead.
And I'm eating my own words here, because just moments ago I said they had nothing to show for it, but here they are, dotting down. And again, great work up front by the forwards. Good flick on there, good continuity from California. But again, look at the efficiency in the breakdown. And then again, good pump fakes from Bertrand, finding support runners. And then what an extension that time from Kobe Milne, just reaching over the line. Great line that he takes off Bertrand. And there's that call in question as to whether or not that was forward. So the ball gets bounced around on the ground, opportunistically picked up and driven through, and another 7 for California on the board.
How about Kobe Milne getting the fans fired up here at Torero Stadium? Love to see it. Great views, beautiful weather, and their home team showing out. Kobe Milne converts as well on his own try with the extra 2 points, and California off and running against the defending champs. I'm going to try to improve that. Ed Timpson, number 8 in red. First time we've called his name.
White, red, white.
The 2025 LA Forward of the Year last season.
White, I'm at the space. White, get up.
Played with his teammate Ben Sugars
Timing's good.
One of the reserves here today in this lineup. See what New England could do
inside, always
with
in.
less than 12 minutes to go.
No, leave it.
Joey, at this point, New England just needs the ball. They literally haven't seen possession. I mean, since that first drive that they had in the opening 10 minutes, I think they have just been starved of possession. And they've only ever had it in their backfield like this. They just keep kicking it back to California. And I know Coach Ryan Martin said kicking's a big part of their game, but they have to play with the ball a little bit more, especially to climb out of this 14-0 hole right now.
Wait.
Flipped high in the air, nicely done. That ball, not exactly in the right spot, but it doesn't matter. California gets it back. Ryan James, he's got just such an explosive first step. Bertrano to Billy Meeks. He's wrestled down. Kenzo Nasogenge also in there. Timpson tripped.
No hands. Tackle.
10 meters ahead of that halfway line. Maake Mute. Number 1 in red. This forwarding group for California has been a force. There's Lance Williams, 6. He works down along that sideline. And even more pressure from California. 10 minutes to go in this first half. And they're trying to make the bleeding worse as they work through to try to line break. That's Kobe Milne once again.
It's fine. No
Off to Billy Meeks, so the 35-year-old twisted down.
Wait. Use it now. Tackle!
Bertrano wants to go fast, and
Stay here.
Stephen Hoyle has told us that we'd love to just keep him in 4th gear. Sometimes he wants to crank it up to 5th gear every single play. Want him to be consistent in that way, but when you've got as much experience as he does, love having him on your squad, just be the party starter for this group. Ryan James wrestling down. Bertrano just trying to get a handle on it. So many bodies
A good counter ruck.
table topping. This will stay with California.
Knock on the ground, scrum down, white ball.
And in that mess of a situation there, the call is a knock-on against California.
Okay.
They found themselves going side to side quite a bit on attack. So good defensive stand there from New England. But California there, I think they just needed to drop into the pocket and kick a little bit there.
Yep, that's it, yeah.
Who's excited for the MLR Championship final in Chicago? I will be returning from my hometown. Pre-sale coming soon. Remember, you can interact with us, hashtag MLR 2026 on X. Make sure to join the conversation, but so pumped to have the championship in Chicago. Last year, New England essentially played a home match, playing in Rhode Island for the championship final against Houston. Played forward, and that finds touch. Back to California.
New England goes with that swing pass into the outside channels, and they have that run kick option. And that time they choose the kick option again around midfield, but it goes directly out of bounds. So California will retain possession from the spot of the kick, and they'll get a line out. So another good attacking platform for California. Again, they've enjoyed all the possession and all the territory so far outside of those opening minutes of play, where New England looked like they were firing on all cylinders, and since then have been very, very quiet.
Up to Dom, the captain. Meeks. Boydevin carrying through, churning the legs. Joey Mano was wrestling somebody in that pile. Ed Timpson works forward again. Number 8, such a pivotal role just to be an enforcer. Trying to find more scoring here in this first half. New England has been jarred, to say the least, to start this after we thought this is going to be a really solid New England start once again. They've, despite the roster turnover, have come out ablazing, but they were not able to convert.
Oh, you've crawled into the ball, slowing it down. You've got to get out the ruck the other way.
Mike talked about it earlier. Maybe they had a chance to get 3 points on the board just to see the ball go through the uprights. instead of on the ground, just to give your team some confidence early, and that didn't happen. And California just seems to have taken advantage this half.
They really have, and I can understand the first decision that was made from New England. You had that opportunity very early on, but you had all the momentum, all the ascendancy. You try to punch California in the mouth right away. Just take the crowd out of it, give yourself some confidence a couple minutes in. But the second time, you have to take those 3 points. You have to take those points when they're on offer. And I think you play a very different tune then if all of a sudden New England's up 3-0 early in this game.
There are 8 penalties currently against New England.
Ball's over.
Playing entirely too disciplined at the moment. And Ryan Martin told us that coming from a group that handled themselves especially well in the playoffs, they haven't lost one yet. That's where discipline comes in. Maybe it's a little bit of early season jitters. You guys are getting yourself into some chemistry as well. As Legion are trying to work forward. Well in the red zone, they were only able to convert on 5 of their chances last week at 13. As a matter of just getting possession against Anthem and then converting. This week looks entirely different for Jason Dom's squad. Work through for Kenzo, hangs onto that ball.
Entry number 12. Come on.
Bertrand wants a quick start and he won't get it.
Joe. Yeah, no,
68 caps for Argentina. For Gonzalo Bertrand, the MLR back of the year for LA.
Penalties for your team. Any more, someone will go. Cool. Okay, talk to them.
And Mike Lawrenson also noticing that the penalties are
Where's number 6?
a premium right now.
Good, sir. Thank you. This is just looking for the mark. Thank you. You're on the mark. Thanks, Lance. Yeah, Mark's over here. Joe, you ready to go? Yep.
You mentioned that penalty count. Up at 9 now, I think, because you had said it was 8, so this will be 9.
Yeah,
California is just going to steady the ship here and take some points on offer, which I think is the right call. But generally speaking, your benchmark by the end of the game is keep yourselves under 10 penalties per game. If you can keep yourself and limit it to 10 penalties within a game, you've done a pretty good job. You're pushing the envelope a little bit, you're testing the waters with the referee, but you're maintaining your discipline. And right now, we're still in the first half, and New England's already got 9. That's not a very good indication of what's to come for them.
Yeah, not a recipe for where you want to win. The thumbs up here for the Legion fans. There's your 3. How about California? The fan cam going nuts. That's the Legion right there. Those real swords, you allowed to bring those in, Mike?
The Legion faithful. I think what we should do in this game at halftime is we should have had some of the Free Jacks fans who have very similar sort of costumes in what they do. Those like very patriotic, old-time American outfits against some of the Legion, and have them do something at halftime.
Some serious melee.
Yes, that would have been worth its ticket price itself just to have seen that.
Some wooden clubs and some plastic swords.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
We need a good battle of the historical times, right?
Right.
Forged in fire. Trying to play that one down off the kick was Killian Coughlin, and it's collected by the other 13, Cole Semu.
Red, stay here, Red, stay, Billy.
Kobe Milne skies this one high in the air, nearly to the 22. There's Joel Hodgson. I haven't said his name in a while because, well, frankly, New England hasn't been able to play forward. Ryan James and company have done really well to keep tabbing on points. It's a 17-0 lead here in the first half against the three-peat champs. Nice one-handed catch. Working on the outside, on the lower sideline was Rory Van Voot. Lost the handle, but Mike Lawrenson blows the whistle.
And what's really worked well on attack so far for California has been those dummy passes, those pump fakes that just draw New England defenders forward and then throw in behind them. So you can see that the energy is there for New England on defense. They want to come up, they want to make hits, but they're just a little bit too anxious. They're running past the ball. And when you run past the ball against good, smart players, that's how you get beat. And California is finding opportunities to go over them and go behind them so far for a couple big breaks.
Do you want to overuse the dummy? Is that something that your opponent could pick up pretty quickly?
Yeah, it definitely could be overused, and people get reputations for throwing dummies more often than not.
Really?
But if you're New England right now, you've just got to tell yourselves, hey fellas, we've just got to lock in our seats. Don't fall for these dummies. If someone's got the ball, you just lay in on the ball carrier. You do not worry about the pass. Someone will come and scramble and help you out. But do not fall for those dummies, and do not overrun the ball on defense. That's got to be something they talk about in their locker room in a few minutes.
Oscar Lennon sets the ball down there in the scrum.
Overextended.
Legion wins it back off the penalty.
Overextend on that side. Yeah. You guys were all right, but overextend on that side first. Yeah. Okay. I'll look for it.
And the penalty there goes against New England at scrum time, and just those penalty woes entering every aspect of their play, whether it's at breakdowns, whether it's at set piece. New England right now is just falling apart at the seams as far as discipline goes. And California, if they can capitalize here, they will really take the wind out of the sails of this New England side.
Tough to throw in.
Yes, good.
Number 2, the hooker. Kenzo, you see big number 4, just trying to will his group, pulling anybody's shirt. Trying to muster some strength forward. Birchnow's got his hands in there. A little bit of a fake out there. Lance Williams tumbles, or Ryan James rather, tumbles down.
Number 1, changing bind. Number 1, Joe.
Is that Kyle Sakara?
There's just too many penalties from your team.
Guilty party? That's going to be a yellow card. Kyle Sakara and his beautiful mane awarded the yellow card.
And we mentioned that Sakara, as he trots off, is the face of the organization and the franchise. You go on their social media page, you'll see lots of Kyle Sakara, and rightly so. But on the wrong end of it there, I mean, just too many penalties against New England. They were warned by the referee.
Final 30, encroaching on that 5-meter line. California, unexpectedly perhaps to some, a 17-0 lead here in the first half, trying to make it 24, and they do! They extend their lead with another try and some extracurricular. I would not want to mess
Back up.
with Samise Kofe. I don't want to mess with any of these guys. But I guess when you're that big, you're not afraid of a little rough and tumble. But California, a 22-0 lead, trying to make it 24, Mike.
And what a statement from California. I mean, you look at the tail of this entire first half. Under immense pressure very early on, right out of the gates, New England looked like they were, again, firing on all cylinders. They were looking red hot, and this has been all California, but let's listen in.
I do want to have a look, because I've actually got number 3 who's reacted to something on the ground.
Okay.
I have seen the action of number 6 as well. So right now I've got 3 red and 6 red, but he clearly's reacted to something. I think we should have a look.
Okay, let's take a look.
So now you think about where this lies in the context of the game. You got 2 seconds here in normal circumstances, right? What does this indicate for where we're going to flow?
If there's a team challenge after that, we can look at that too.
If there's any other penalties. And I don't mean to keep interrupting Mike Lawrence.
they're gonna take a look here for some foul play off the ball. So the try will stand, surely. I don't think the try is in question here. I think what they're looking at is all of those antics afterwards to see if there's any disciplinary jurisdiction that needs to be handed out to send people off the field, because right now, you know, Kyle Sakara's out, so New England's playing shorthanded with 1 less forward in their pack. And now we just find out whether or not California's going to do the same, and there it is. That's what they're looking at.
Okay, so I just have some pushing and shoving from number 3, but clearly I have no 6 that started it.
Yeah, I think what started it, someone's patting someone's head on the
Yes, it's number 6.
Number 6?
Yes.
Yeah, and then number 3 just pulls the player away, so no problems there.
Okay. Good. Can we have a look at what the challenge is?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to look at the team challenge, please.
Did you get that on?
Did you get that? It's 39-55.
Strike involving
Number 3.
3 on 7.
39.55, 3 red. It's going to be before that.
Hey, there was something on his face. He was just trying to get it off. He had a fly on his nose.
It's before that. Yeah, right here, please.
He had sunglasses that go in his eyes.
Okay, I have no strike from number 3. I definitely pulled him out of the ruck, but I have no strike.
Yeah, he's just holding the jersey
Yep,
there.
just pull him out. Go back just 2 seconds, please. Go it again.
As you can tell, just trying to determine who's at fault,
No clear
when,
evidence, yeah, so.
and how the challenge will be
So I have a decision.
awarded or not.
After a referee initiated a review, number 6 did rub the head of the player after the try scored, which started a scuffle. It's going to be a yellow card for number 6. Then number 3, there was a team challenged by New England, and after review, there was no foul play, just a little scuffle, so New England loses their challenge. The try is awarded, however, number 6 is going to get a yellow card. Yep, New England loses
So
both
Lance
challenges.
Williams awarded the yellow card. We'll loop in Scott Green as well to see how that all transpired, what comes from it. Scott, thanks for popping in again. What did you see there?
Yeah, lots to unpack for the match official team in that one. So, look, there was a clear try. Try stood, and then after the try, the boys stood up and decided they wanted to test out the strength of the rugby jerseys and have a bit of a pull on each other. So, what Mike has said there, the referee has said that number 6 from San Diego was the instigator of this whole kerfuffle, and 3 red was just reacting and not retaliating. So that's the difference, and that's why he decided to yellow card red 6 for the starting the whole melee.
I'm sure that back in the day, Scott, you saw Mike Petrie do a few different things like that, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw Mike at a tackle once, and I just told him he was lost, and I sent him on his way.
Come on, Scott. That was your opportunity to do the right thing there. Come on. How are you going to sell me out like that? But there he is sitting on the side. Just poor sportsmanship there. Totally uncalled for. And that'll earn you 10 minutes off the field for sure. Even if Scott Green were refereeing, he's got 10 minutes off the field. Right, Scott? You don't let him get away with stuff like that.
Okay, no quick. It's a new ball. No quick.
Of course, Mike Petrie, so much rugby experience, and he's well known by referees and fans worldwide. So New England, a final push here. Into the red zone we go. Can the Free Jacks find some semblance of positivity here towards the end of this first half? Very similar to how we started the matchup, but they weren't able to come away with any points. Both teams have somebody in the sin bin. Defenders hanging out there. Here's Hamopo. Oscar Lennon works back, number 9 for this group. New England trying to find themselves into position to go score again. They're working very efficiently with Joe Johnston, the New Zealander, known as the Mechanic. Nuafi played down. Just find something here if you're New England. Von Donaldson as well. So much of this group is new to wearing the Free Jacks uniform. And they get their first try of the season. Keenan Higgins, the center. Came over from the URC to the MLR, and he gets his first try as a pro in the States.
And New England needed that one. I mean, 2 minutes over halftime into injury time in this half. And they started the half with possession. They walked away with no points. They end the half with possession, and they get themselves a try. But listening to in here, it sounds like maybe California wants to challenge this. I'm not entirely sure what they want to challenge as we take another look at it.
If it's not, you'll lose your challenge.
There it is. I think that, I'm not sure what they would want to challenge there. That looks pretty clear as day to me that one's in. Maybe just a bit of frustration from California to give up that try so late in the half. But nonetheless, Hodgson will line this one up off the tee.
Joel Hodgson lines it up, fires it through.
So it's 2 phases before try.
And if you fail to come away with a successful challenge, you lose that ability to challenge.
The only thing they may be talking about is maybe that fumble, if you will, or the knock-on in contact. But again, it has to be within 2 phases. You heard our referee. So here we go into halftime, 24-5. Not a bad score line for California fans.
Yeah, Hodgson was actually off on that extra point. Beg your pardon. That is how we end. What a 40 minutes for California. Coming out the gates with the Supporters Cup on the line. The old mate could be joining the Legion. Step away for halftime.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Oh, there you go. Halftime highlights here for Major League Rugby's Week 2. California Legion in stride against the first game players, the New England Free Jacks, coming off of 3 championships in a row. You see some of those first half highlights. The fanfare has been incredible, Mike, and what a start. 24-5 our count. It was the Legion shot out of a cannon.
It really was. And again, New England came out of the gates red hot, but since then, the entire second half, aside from that last play, was all California. much to the excitement of their fan base. There was a lot of turbulence in California rugby during the offseason about San Diego and LA merging, and now where they were playing their home games, but here they are in the traditional home of the formerly San Diego Legion. So the Legion faithful are strong out in numbers in Torero Stadium, excited for this one. The team is excited for this one to get the ship right. Billy Meeks, as we said, is back in their lineup. All things and all signs are pointing in the right direction right now for California.
More halftime coming your way here on ESPN. Thank you again for joining us. MLR rolls on after the break.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Today, the MLR rolled on. It was an incredible finish for Chicago in their first match of the season against the previously undefeated Anthem Rugby Club. Haven't been able to say that for their sake in a long time, but some serious concussive rugby happening here today. With Anthem actually losing. It was a 33-19 win for Chicago. Great way to start the season for the Hounds.
Great way to start the season for the Hounds. They've got a great lineup. They're expecting big things out of the big city of Chicago. You know all about how important the sports leagues are in Chicago and how much they love their sports teams. But Anthem Rugby humbled a little bit in week 2, unfortunately running into a very strong Chicago Hounds side.
Next week, well, you know who the teams are every single week with 6 teams in this league. How about 2 American-born teams, New England and Old Glory DC, doing battle with New England at home. Anthem gets the home slate against Seattle, and Sunday Night Rugby, the premier show for this season. We are so pumped up to bring you that, and we got a banger. Depending on how this one goes, California could get their first win against Chicago, who impressed today.
Yeah, and that's the big one. As you mentioned, the unveiling of the ESPN Sunday Night Rugby. It'll be a good show. There's some great people involved in it. Everybody around the league is excited about it. That's going to be one to put on your calendar for next Sunday night.
Cannot wait for Will Hooley, Claudia Bellafato, the rest of the crew, Ben Holden, and Bree Kim will be on the call. What a blast you're going to have. It's been a wonderful day at Torero Stadium. A beautiful one at that as well for some rugby. The formerly San Diego Legion, now California Legion, doing work in front of their home crowd. Second half on the way back.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
Welcome back to Torero Stadium alongside Mike Petrie, Joey Lindstrom. Thank you for being with us here today. A wonderful day in California for some rugby. The return of California Legion, another home match, and a wonderful bout with the New England Free Jacks. 24-5 finish. Mike Lawrenson and the rest of the officials' crew getting set for a pretty charged second half. And you look at the way that the first half transpired with New England really storming out the gates in a very impressionable way to find themselves down at one time 24-0 before finally getting a try before to the end of that first half. Mike, it just felt like this group was, they're still trying to find their chemistry. They've only had scrimmages under their belt. This roster is almost brand new, and you find yourself, if you're New England, scrapping to figure out what's going to work, or what do you do? What's the message there from Ryan Martin and company at halftime?
Yeah, I think at halftime, if you're in that New England locker room, you're just sitting there and you're saying, fellas, we got to get some composure to us. We came out of the gates with the right energy and the right intent. We need to continue that throughout the rest of the half. We can't take our foot off the pedal. They showed the intent that they want to play to the corner. They want to play with the ball in hand. They want to score tries. That's great. But let's just hit that reset button a little bit. Let's take points when they're on offer. Let's get the scoreboard ticking over. Let's find our rhythm as a team. Like you said, it's their first real hit out in the league this season. California has the luxury of already having played and learned their lessons by giving Anthem their first win ever in franchise history. So they certainly have a lot to prove to the league right now that they are legit, and certainly a lot to prove to their fan base. So expect, though, that New England will have a big corner to turn, and if anyone can get them on the right track, it's Captain Joe Johnson and their head coach Ryan Martin. But check out this. How about some rugby going on here from these kids?
You love it. This has got to be the local, one of the local rugby clubs. This has got to be so cool for these kids as well. being able to do this in front of the crowd, the home crowd for their home team.
Wait, hold on. If I'm Mike Lawrence, I want that Hawaiian shirt for my next game.
I was going to say.
Instead of the yellow.
That guy robbed our colleague Dallin Stanford of his Hawaiian shirt.
Exactly. That's right. It does. Maybe Dallin got. He did the last game. He might be back in California by now.
Well, yeah, Dallin's a San Diego native. This guy probably raided his closet.
That's right. That's right.
Incredible. I love it. This is, especially with the influence of where rugby is right now. How about this? A New England Free Jacks watch party. Thanks for joining the conversation. Hashtag MLR 2026 on X if you want to get involved. Our MLR social team will find you in the best way possible.
Yes, and all due respect to all the Free Jacks people watching from their watch party. I'm a big fan of the Free Jacks. I love what they've done, but you and I both know as we watch this game, that's not what the Free Jacks are capable of. They showed it in a spurt there at the very beginning and a spurt there at the very end, but they've got to sustain it throughout the entire half. And you get a good look there. They have a new maestro there in Joel Hodgson at 10. You haven't called his name a lot because they haven't had possession a lot. He really hasn't had a chance yet to show what he can do. And I think there's a lot of people in New England that are excited to have the ball in his hands more. And also in his hands more, Caleb Geiger. We mentioned big shoes to fill with outgoing Canadian Andrew Quattrin leaving the club along with 13 other, or I should say 12 other Canadians. So a very new look team, and Caleb Geiger is at the heart of it. We need to call his name more on this broadcast in the second half for New England, for sure.
He's on a mission to become an Eagle as well. Always at the first in the gym, pushing him to be a world-class forward as this staff. He's well equipped to do so. Joel Hodgson, also a very decorated player.
For clarity, Caleb's on the Eagles, but he's pushing for that starting jersey. He's really trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to make that World Cup roster, and more importantly, he's trying to find a home for himself in New England after Andrew Quattrin stepped away.
I appreciate that clarity, partner.
Yep.
JC,
just really more for Caleb's sake than anything else. More for Caleb's sake. He's trying to give him that credit that he deserves as a player that's worked incredibly hard to learn this game and really made a name for himself.
It's a Concordia U from Sedalia, Colorado. We're underway here in the second half. 40 more minutes of play. And California,
hold in front, hold in front.
A 24-5 lead. And more importantly, a 19-point hole for New England to climb themselves out of. This is Nathan Salmon. Works down. Playing on the outside. There's big Caleb Geiger. Oscar Lennon.
No.
And New England trying to impress. It's Piers Van Donaldson. Worked around the outside. That's Higgins once more. Finding Mitch Wilson in the back.
Just a knock on.
The stoppage from Mike Lawrence.
We have a team challenge by California. The play's under review.
Challenge for California.
I'm not sure yet.
As we take a moment to head over to this review, bear in mind that both teams are playing with 14 players on the field right now, carrying over from the end of that first half. For New England, Kyle Sequeira had to take a seat thanks to too many penalties against New England, so he's off the field to start for the better part of 10 minutes because it was right near the end of that first half, so probably somewhere in the realm of about 7 to 8 minutes left on his time off. And then Lance Williams, who started that whole melee after the try with unsportsmanlike conduct. So he's sitting right now for California as well.
After review, the challenge is outside of protocol of the review system. California loses a challenge and will continue with the scrum.
Okay, so if you find yourself needing a challenge, California, if you're California, Scott Green, you can't do that any longer. What transpired there?
We have some subs going on.
Because it seems like a knock-on's in protocol. Maybe not.
3-2 wide off.
So
3 and 2.
Mike, I'm sure your wheels are also turning on why that would have been out of protocol.
So this is also very new for a lot of us, and so I think Scott Green is in the same boat right now, trying to wrap our heads around exactly what's going on here. But I think, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, it has to be within 2 phases of the end of the play in order for you to go back and challenge it. Is that correct, Scott?
Okay, happy to come in if you need me, mate.
Okay, time is on.
We'll try to get Scott back in if we can, but if not, I do believe that it has to be within 2 phases. And we'll go back to Scott now.
Yeah, hey, Mikey, yeah, you did right, mate. Within 2 phases is your challenge. Or knock-ons, forward passes, you know, touch the line out, offside, more obstruction, tackle stuff. Foul play goes all the way back to the last restart of play, though. Back to you, mate.
This ball booted forward, back in the possession of the Free Jacks. Thanks for enlightening us there, Scott.
No
19-point
lifting
count.
there,
What a
just a good tackle.
thump over at the halfway line. It was Piers Van Donaldson, or rather Joe Johnston, rather, number 7 in white, giving the business there to Milne. Played down, that's Ed Timpson. And outside to Ryan James. Ryan James tried the dummy. He gets thrown down, but it's still in possession here for the Legion. Something that we saw with Billy Meeks as he takes the tumble off the great form tackle there by Malu Nuafe.
No clear release. You got a clear release. Yeah, you got one end underneath. You got to show me a clear release.
And that is just a silly penalty there by New England. I mean, really, one of the comments I was waiting to make was that they've just come out a little bit too loose after halftime. I mean, one of the comments that has to have been made in their locker room was, fellas, we need to just be more intentional. We need to be simple, get back to the basics, be very direct. They come out of the gates, they're throwing the ball around, they're knocking it on, they're spilling it in contact, and then they're giving away penalties in midfield where you just do something well, you come up, you make a big hit, you drive the ball carrier backwards, you know that California's got to drop in the pocket and kick it to you, and then you give away a penalty.
I did
just not good enough right now from New England in the first opening minutes of the second half, as far as just, again, being a little bit too loose around the ball.
So territory advantage played. Now we're in the 22-meter line. Into the red zone we go here for California. Legion in their second home game in a row to start the season.
That's once.
2 out of the 5 was the only one being played in San Diego.
Okay, use it now, Red. Use it.
Still being played forward. Tafate had it. Back to Meeks. Meeks played forward and bumping in there is Cole Semu to Ryan James. That got rattled off. Nice pickup on the run by Ethan McVeigh. Battling with Oscar Lennon for that fly half position. And Ethan McVeigh is getting involved everywhere on the pitch.
Option, Jason. Just come over there. You want to scrum or?
And that ball is going to run out the back of the end zone as we take a moment here to catch our breath. But again, those end zones in Torero are very short. And so that ball just drives out the back. It'll come back to the location of the kick.
So your knee get twisted, you all right?
And so, yeah, that could be danger time for New England. You don't ever want someone walking up to you and saying, I saw your knee get twisted. Are you okay? That's just,
that's no good.
That is not what you want to hear.
But that's Sione Tupu. And see what happened here in that last sequence. Nice little flip to himself. Looks like Tupu just got, briefly tangled up on the tackle. Bay of Plenty pathway player out in New Zealand, a former Steamer.
Before the scrum starts, not after the set.
As you get a good look there, Ethan McVeigh just tossing the ball up. So a big change at halftime for New England. They change out their halfback. They bring McVeigh in. They take Oscar Lennon off, which by all accounts, when we talk to head coach Ryan Martin, McVeigh is your systems player. And Oscar Lennon's your free-form player that's a little bit more attack-minded and a bit more off the cuff. And so when you're in a hole 24-5, it's an interesting change to have made. But like you said, he seems to have brought energy on so far because he knows he's fighting for that number 9 jersey to start in this team.
It's going to be an ongoing battle throughout the year, especially for that big facilitator role that we talked about. It's also one of your biggest offensive leaders.
Don't step out, okay?
So let's see what Ethan McVeigh has to say about his play today.
He's one of a few changes that New England has made, so they're going into their bench very early, by all accounts. I mean, at halftime to make a number of substitutions like that is not totally unheard of, but is a little bit unusual. But, you know, when you're down by 19 points, sometimes you just got to roll a dice and see what happens. Bring in some fresh legs, some fresh perspective, and try to reinvigorate this team, because they certainly need it right now.
Yeah, find that eject button, hit it a few times, get some folks out there, try to light a fire, and you might be able to change the course of this game.
No contest.
Over top, here's McVeigh again. Russell down, 21 in white. The aforementioned, he's in that battle with Oscar Lennon for the fly half position. Played forward, this is great from New England.
No knock on, play on, no knock on.
A wonderful build, somersaulting down.
Last feet.
Just about 10 meters away. And good hold up here from the Legion. Billy Meeks involved in there on that play. Tupu seems well and good. No knee problems on this particular possession. McVeigh's looking for the ball. Slips out to Higgins, who had the try earlier there to finish out the first half. Works down to Nathan Salmon. Swimming upstream ahead of the 5 meter.
Push back, Red.
Muscling forward on that tackle. Can't hold that ball up. It's Ali Aylmer and California. A rocket start after holding up and holding the line. That trickles down all the way to the opposite end, about 10 meters away from the end zone.
Never got the ball.
A frenetic pace here from California off that defensive possession. New England,
okay, use it now,
it's the fortuitous roll there.
Come back.
To find it back, and Hodgson will just launch this one and try to get some breathing room.
And that's how quickly the tides can turn on you in this game, Joey. I mean, you go from knocking on the doorstep of scoring to seconds later just hustling back downfield, because remember, when you're putting everything into your offensive effort, there's nobody in your backfield. There's nobody at home. So when you turn that ball over so close to your line and it ends up in the opposition kicker's hands, you are retreating, and you are retreating quickly downfield to try to gather that ball back.
You see, not quite a full line change there for California as it was for New England.
Okay.
You're so right. This game can change in an instant. In the Seattle game and in the Chicago game, in their respective wins. Saw a couple of line breaks that were
17.
epic.
Stop. Leave it now, Red. Leave it. Last feet. No. Okay, use it. Stay here, please. Stay here.
What do you think the reason for that is? Going around the outside here for Billy Meeks. Wrestled down. Bertrano found it. Elected not to play it back. Bertrano breaks the tackle. Bertrano into the red zone. Off to Poitevin. Poitevin found some room. Bertrano on the outside. California has some numbers here. It was Leany there for a second. And Kobe Milne is wrestled down as well. Can California find that pace that they so want with Billy Meeks, their leader, back in the lineup? And last week they just seemed despondent at times. Today they've been clinical.
They have been, and how about the playmakers just now? Both of them, the 9 and the 10 for California. The first one by Bertrano, again, throwing that dummy pass, just biting and baiting, I should say, baiting that New England defense forward, and then ducking in behind him, making the big break, finding his support runner, and then how about the hands from the number 10? But here's a look at Billy Meeks just sidestepping and dancing his way into space. And Bertrano just trying to dig that ball out as quickly as they can, but New England all over it, so we're coming back to a knock-on against New England. Well, yeah, just checking on well-being of some people on the field, so everyone's all right. We're ready to continue. As Jason Dom has a word with our referee, but good attacking platform right now from San Diego, and they've earned it through that run from Bertrano. Just again baiting New England forward, finding the gap, And then the skills that time, that hands, that pass to the outside from their number 10. I mean, Kobe Milne just flung that ball out under immense pressure. Nothing came of it, but I mean, just showing what his skill set is. And again, you mentioned he's got Super Rugby experience, and he had it on full display just there.
Stand up. All 6 of us, yeah, let's hold some space between us, please. Yeah, all 6 of us, hold some space before the set. Let's go again. You guys are getting too close.
New England
hold your weight.
was starting to really get some forward momentum on the offensive side before California just held them up and regained a ton of territory. They might find themselves in a spot to make it a 24-point lead once again.
Overextended. Number 18, overextended. Yeah, too long.
Yeah, too long in his bind, so wasn't able to hold himself up in the weight of that scrum. And something I would honestly know nothing about, Joey, having played a long time, but would know nothing about what it's like in the front row of that situation, other than the fact that there's a lot of penalties that happen in that area of the game.
8 wide.
And that one just
time off,
just not able to get himself latched on across from him. But
8 whites,
my goodness,
8
when I look back, that's one part of the game that I'm so happy I was never really involved in, because, woof, you talk about intensity and pressure. That's where it all is. That's where it happens up front.
That's a massive humanity. I agree. I don't think I'd want to be caught up in the scrum either.
I don't know, with your build, I think you're wearing a 4 or a 5 and playing the second row, pal.
No
so
way.
I hate
Put
to break
60
it to you.
pounds on me.
I hate to break it to you.
Put him back on me. How about this? Good push from Legion. We've seen this once before with Joe Tafate. Might we see it again? Where's that ball underneath that pile? It seems like New England feels like they have a chance at it. Still there with Lance Williams. Played forward once more. It's another try for California. Declan Leaney scores for the Legion, and the home crowd continuing to be a factor. They got a ton to cheer about today.
They really do, and that's the impact you need to have coming off the bench. You mentioned how beautiful it is in California, and all things are looking as beautiful as ever if you're a California Legion fan. And it starts up front with this maul. Great effort to produce the ball to the back, because it was quite a mess thanks to the Free Jacks defense. The ball's recycled here, and then it's just a couple of quick picks around the corner. And this one here gets them in and over the line. So really nice job to just crawl forward, keep your legs pumping, stay low, win that height battle, because that's what it's all about when you're so close. Whoever's body is closest to the ground is going to win out.
Kobe Milne remains perfect in the kicking game as well.
Make sure they stay behind.
A 26-point advantage for California leading up to this week. It was, man, you lost to Anthem, who had just got their first MLR win in franchise history. And the Legion have been so impressive today. They might be able, John, to get themselves that old mate and keep it here in California. First, we'll have to take it on the road for the Sunday Night Rugby showdown with Chicago next week.
Leave it red, let it come. There's the ball right there.
When you're playing against the three-peat champs, you're going to bring your best, and Ryan Martin told us that as well. We know we're always going to get the best effort from whoever we play, because we've set that standard, even with a pretty new roster. Doesn't matter. The logo is what people fixate on, and they want to be able to say that they beat the Free Jacks when they did.
Yes, and after losing to a team that went winless in 2 seasons in
Might
your
be a
opening
little
game.
bit of extra motivation.
Yeah, you've got a lot to prove. I imagine it's been a long week at the California Legion headquarters. I wouldn't have wanted a minute of practice this week with them. I could tell you that much for sure, because that is not a space you want to be in. But this is definitely a space you want to be in, back at home as a California franchise in Torero Stadium. I mean, there's so much energy in this space. There's so much great stuff happening around this Legion organization. And this is where it all happens for them. They needed to right the ship, and they've done it today so far with putting 31 points on the board so far.
Stay up.
We got 30 minutes to go.
Touch, touch. Everyone's on side. Touch.
And after Anthem's late push against Chicago, you wouldn't have said if they didn't make that late push that it really made that semblance of improvement from week 1 to 2, because it just didn't feel like they were in that game until later when they really made a run at that lead. They ended up losing 33-19.
Lower, please. Upright tackle.
Just completely different sides of the story for California today.
And Joey, I think part of that is just, if you look at the style of play last week versus Anthem and this week versus New England, New England's a team that finally has come out and kicked a lot, and it's won them a lot of games in the past. It's part of the reason why they've won so many championship titles. We talked about their defense being important, but another aspect of it is the strategy that they use in gameplay. California is perennially, on the West Coast, rugby in general, is just meant to be a bit freer. They play a bit more loosely. They play a bit more expansive rugby. They play with the ball in hand a lot, and that can be a bit risky when you roll the dice like that. And so that was something that came up in conversation with head coach Steve Hoyles, and he said, look, we have to add some elements of our kicking game and do it well and intentionally, and they've done that today, and they've put New England under pressure in the right areas of the field, enjoying a lot of territory and a lot of possession in this game so far.
They've really found their groove.
Okay, red in front.
Ethan
Stop.
McVeigh
19 red. Stop.
let that one fly down in possession for some territory, and Kobe Milne did the same.
Over the shoulder, play on.
A nice little run here around the outside for Jared Latu.
No, he's medal, play on.
Ten ahead of the halfway line. And Ryan Martin and the rest of the coaching staff, James Doyle. And this group trying to find their way back into this deficit as Sione Tupou falls out.
And you mentioned that just trying to fight their way back in, and the new chemistry, the new faces that they have. We talked about the 13 outgoing Canadians in their lineup, but one of the big names we talked about was Andrew Quattrin being one of them. As you look at just, again, uncharacteristic errors in this New England camp right now with that knock-on and spill, that was a perfect pass just in his basket and just drops it forward. But one name that we haven't mentioned yet, and one of the biggest losses that they said they've sustained, was in their midfield with Leroux Milan, their number 12. He was the pulse of this organization. The joke in their team was that he was the son of that man right there, Ryan Martin, that was his kid, that was his offspring, because, you know, by all accounts, he loved having him in that lineup. But they are really missing him right now in their midfield for sure. I know Higgins dotted down for him. He's wearing the 12 shirt, but when you lose a guy like Milan in your midfield, that is a really big hole to replace.
And no Ben Lesage as well. Also another area of the focus that when you retain some of that talent, it does wonders for what the group already has as far as cohesion goes, as far as that culture goes.
Stay here, stay.
That'll be that tough Bostonian squad. They have found some adversity here in California, and it might just keep pouring on. Here's Bertrand trying to work through. Great pass on the outside to Ryan James. A Trek Star effort as he finds touch. What a meter dash there, what that was.
And what I love about what they just did was they put the playmaking into the hands of Bertrand. We talked about that he's a number 9, but you let him make the decisions there. So you let him attack off the base of the scrum. You give him Billy Meeks as an option. You recycle the ball really quickly. You let him dart around the corner again, and he's going to make the good reads, and he's going to spin that ball into the outside channel and put the ball in the hands of Ryan James for a big break.
Ryan James, a San Diego native as well, playing back at home. Nice dummy work there from Mitch Wilson.
Use it, White.
Who came over from Anthem. Back with the Free Jacks, played with them for 4 years from 2020 to 2024. 15 in white.
Go back.
As Ethan McVeigh works back.
White, stay. You're good.
McVeigh, USA captain, who hasn't had those regular starter opportunities. Split with Connor Buckley in DC last year, competing with Oscar Lennon, as we mentioned. A good pickup with John Poland also departing from this group. Meeks works back to Mill.
Play on, play on.
And played forward here with Jason Down.
No, you never got the ball, mate.
Captain of Team USA in the last 5 tests. Last one versus Samoa in September. 15 USA caps for big number 5 in red. Here's James. James trying to throw a stiff arm and break a tackle. Rory Van Voot is there. Bertrand will work it back to Meeks and reversing field. There's the man that scored the try earlier, Declan Leaney. Bertrand 25 carries back in week 1
50-22's on.
against Anthem. Nice dip forward here
White, you gotta
from
come
Milne,
back.
and New England will return the favor with a huge kick.
Red, stop in front, stop in front.
Trading kicks here, are we?
22.
So 31-5, nearly 20 minutes into this second half. If you're New England, what's the state of the union right now for them? Think about where their mindset is at. You're down 26. As folks at home are obviously trying to implore their team to work through and get some points on the board, Mike.
That's right. You just need some energy. Like you're just sitting here feeling sorry for yourself at this point if you're New England, right? You just flew across the country. You're coming off of the high of winning last season for a lot of these people, you know, and you find yourself in a hole 31-5. Like, this is the reality. This is the game. You're going to find yourselves in holes. It's going to happen to you throughout the season. It's about how you respond. And so if you're New England right now, you've got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You've got to start bringing energy into this game. And what you really need is just, you need the ball. You need the ball. They're not having a lot of possession. They're being starved of it right now from California.
They really
20
are.
white offsides.
Offsides as well. What a tough go for the Free Jacks.
And discipline. I mean, we talked about it in the first half. They have been their own worst enemy time and time again. As we get a look here at this. So good block, but offsides. So when I say good block, like, it looks nice on TV, but unfortunately, it was offside position. So they get a penalty against them.
Water break.
Found ourselves in the second of 2 hydration breaks. 31-5, our count. We'll take one with them. California, all business here in San Diego this weekend against New England.
To put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
The MLR fan cam, everybody's got a reaction. It's been such a fun day here in San Diego. The Legion faithful rocking some serious handlebars. Let's go. Can you grow a mustache?
Not if I tried. And last night I was passing some comments to Rick Hatting for Seattle for his beard. I couldn't grow a beard like that if I spent the rest of my life trying, Joey. But
I couldn't either. I'm faceball as it gets. Just a couple of patches here and there. I don't even want to know what I look like with a beard. But if you got a sweet stash, rock it. Especially in this sport. Legion still kind of move forward here. After the hydration break with Declan Leaney.
Let's use it now.
You ever let the flow come out at all when you were playing?
There were
Keep
times.
it tight.
There were times. I mean, we tried for a mustache during Movember a few times on USA tours, and never went well. It was never well received by family when I came home. My wife was not a huge fan, to be honest.
No skullet for you?
But no, we never really went that route. Tried to stay clean cut, Joey.
And James laying the boom on the outside. And a little cut in the lip as Bertrand.
Knock on the rock by
He always seems to be communicating something.
He has to.
Barking or otherwise.
That's part of his job. I mean, you would know all about that, right? When you're in that leadership role and everybody's really looking to you. I mean,
last one was good.
He touches the ball more than anyone else in the team, right? He gets more touches per game, and so everyone's going to look to you to be the pulse of what you're doing, especially on attack. And from defense, you're really, with the exception of the fullback, sort of the eyes of the team on defense and pulling people in positions to help them get set in the right spaces. And so he's constantly running his mouth in ways that are helping his teammates, and that's just the sign and indication of a really good halfback, and that's exactly what Bertrand is.
I asked you before the game, listen to me, before the game I asked you to take your right foot to the left of the mark, yeah? Get us nice and even.
Mike Lawrenson getting everybody set.
The ones you have to be wary of, Joey, are the ones that run their mouth to the other team. The good ones are the ones that run their mouth to their own team. The ones that run their mouth to the other team, those guys have a lot to say and usually not a lot to show for it, Joey.
The 9 and the 10, so pivotal, especially with ref communication. They're always going to go to the 10.
Wait.
But the 9 has to be, you have to be able to trust that guy.
Okay,
not to get himself into trouble. You can always trust Mike Petrie, that's for sure. How about Legion on the run? Kobe Milne once again. The Aussie doing work in his MLR debuts over the last couple weeks. Still muscling forward. Another try. It's Ben Sugars, and how sweet it is for California.
I see what you did there with Ben Sugars and how sweet it is, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it, and California fans are absolutely loving this. But I'll tell you what, this starts with Bertrand. Look, they are doing such great stuff. The jabs, the pump fakes, the off steps, all that's doing is putting New England off guard. And then they're catching them either backpedaling, catching them running past the ball, or catching them just shifting out of position. And those subtle changes are opening up huge opportunities for California, and they were just running through them at full speed, and that's exactly what's happening now. They've got their tails up, and they look as sharp as ever.
What an effort from this group. Milne cashes home for 2 more. It is a great night in San Diego if you're a Legion fan, and probably a bad day to be a beer at the stadium. This has been fun.
I like that as well. Yeah, I mean, not a good day for Free Jacks fans. I'm sure you could add to that list. It's not the start that they would hope for from their defending champion franchise. But, you know, the redemption in this all is that we're very early in this season, and rest assured, this New England side is bound to turn a corner at some point. Just right now, you caught California at the wrong time. Like we said, the back end of handing Anthem their first ever win. Back home in Torero, Billy Meeks back in the lineup. I mean, everything was going right for California today.
I hope that's not the standard, though, that, you know, if Anthem continues to have success, that whoever loses to Anthem
exactly has to rebound.
Has a really tough week of practice, and then whoever has to play the team that lost to Anthem has to prepare like that.
Listen, when you don't win for 2 seasons, you get that reputation. So if you want something different, they have a lot of work to do to change it. But they have, respectfully to them.
Really well.
Respectfully to them, they absolutely have, and hopefully we could see some really good work out of Anthem this season. I know that everybody wants to see that.
Just let me speak, please. Let me speak, please. It's the 2 of you, yeah? I need you to bring your hips underneath you, okay? Understood?
Orchestrating
the
complaints.
Well. Come closer to the mark. Yeah, both of you.
A tough spot to be if you're a referee.
I got a question for you as someone who's played a number of other sports. How often did you interact with the referee the way that you see our referees interacting with players on the field like this? And was it similar?
On the position that I was playing and what sport. When I was playing football, I was playing QB, so a lot. You know, you're trying to get very similar to the scrum half. Then when I switched to tight end, I was always complaining for something. Ryan James with authority on that hit.
Stolen, play on. No, knock on, play on.
Legion has been so good on all phases.
Did you have a knock on? Oh, here? Okay, touch, yeah. Red ball knows a knock on into touch, we're going to have a line out. No scrum. Line out. Knock on into touch, line out. No, line out, it's always a line out in MLR.
Correct. You hear our referee there giving the indication of the rule that exists right now in the MLR, that if there's a knock on and it goes into touch, you don't play the knockout. You don't play the knock on for a scrum, which is usually the resulting penalty. Instead, you play the line out, and the idea is they want to get the ball in play a little bit quicker.
They want them,
and unfortunately, it's not going to go in play because it's not straight.
It's just an option. Yeah, I understand. It's just an option.
Lance Williams needed to
Hold on. It's just an option.
become the human pogo stick.
No, it's a scrum or line out.
Too much lean, and it'll be a free jack possession.
Line out is chosen. Line out.
So now they get the option of a scrum or a line out. In this situation, there are so many subtleties to the rules, for sure. So the knock-on that goes out of bounds, knock-ons generally result in a scrum, but that one, when it goes out of bounds, results in a line-out. The throw not straight, the team gets to choose now. Do you want a scrum or a line-out? Me personally, I love line-outs. I've always loved line-outs as an attacking platform. The defensive team has to be back 10 meters, so you get a really good launch from it. I used to love line-outs, and I used to love the set-piece plays we had off of them.
And some of those fake-outs as well. How about this? Ben Sugars fresh off his first try of the season. In a California uniform. That got disrupted, but it still finds the awaiting arms
Knock on by red.
of Joey Mano. And player cramping down on the ground for the Free Jacks.
Knock on by red. Scrum down, white ball.
Billy Meeks in his return, and you can tell this group is so much better for having him back and in form.
If it happens again, they're going to penalize you, okay? These are Mark.
That's Nate Sylvia. And USA Eagle down, and a hot day in San Diego is 83 degrees at kickoff. Get the electrolytes going. And that is a Boston trainer, if you've ever seen it, with all the numbers around the Boston Celtics logo on the tattoo there. And looks like Sylvia's all right. If you find Waldo in there, we featured him earlier with the stash. There he is.
Give him space to put his head in, okay? Thank you. I've spoken to him. Yeah, just give him space.
38-5 our count. It has been all California. Alongside former Eagle Mike Petrie, Joey Lindstrom, entire crew bringing you the action today. Done such a great job. Play back for McVeigh. McVeigh a little hezzy. He works through the halfway line. What a tackle by Poitevin. Ryan James thought he had somebody around, pirouettes, and works down in the attacking half here. Big hit on the outside. What a pass. Van Voot back to Bertrand.
Playing advantage offside.
Billy Meeks, Poitevin. One more there for Leany. Back to the Free Jacks we go.
White 13, never onside. Marcus here at the 15.
First, I want to call the attention to the fact that I loved your use of the word pirouette just now. As a dance dad, it makes me so happy.
Keep it on the toes, Mike.
I absolutely love the reference to it. But more importantly than that, again, how about Bertrand on that far side, finding that 2-on-1, isolating a defender, putting his support player into space, and then again, just California supporting the run, supporting the line break, getting all hands on deck, and finding themselves now just a couple meters out from New England's line again. I mean, they have just looked so sharp in so many different aspects of play, and the pulse of it really has been Bertrand pushing that tempo, finding opportunities for them.
So Manu, who was down earlier, he will not be returning.
Chest to back, we have obstruction.
Laid outside the 5 meter, back to the Free Jacks.
Yes, on the 15.
And Latu will be in for Manu.
And so it's not to be for California that time, who obstructs at the line out. So when the ball carrier comes down, teams try to sneak in there, Joey, and they try to sneak a support player in front of the ball carrier to protect them a little bit. And that's kind of what California did, but that's obstruction. You can't do that. The ball carrier has to sort of be in the front of that maul that you're trying to form. And unfortunately, that penalty goes against them.
Don't put him in, leave him there, the ball's there.
Well, a tough break for California.
Okay.
I'd say they're willing to take a couple
Stay.
tough breaks given the performance they've had today. 10 minutes to go, including some extra injury time. Milne hauls that one in off the punt. Free Jacks wrestling for it somehow, got flipped high in the air from down. Chase Jones is in.
Diving on an emerging ball.
And 20 in red came along with Joe Tafate'e from the NOLA Gold a season ago.
Time off, Jets. We have some subs as well.
More substitutions here in the late stages.
Come on.
At the team shrunk down to 6. More chances for rivalries. The Supporters Cup is on the line today. New England trying to still make some positivity come out of this game.
Let go of the ball. White, let go of the ball. No, you got to be inside the
Bertrand
field. You
with
can't be in the
Tupou.
angle. You can't be in the angle. You got to be out here. Okay. Just letting you know. Okay, push over, please.
And another line out. California on their heels here inside their own 5-meter. They're at Torero Stadium in San Diego. Bertrand
No,
played
good.
back.
Play on.
Tripped up. Briefly, there was Kofe. And kicked out just to regain a little bit of territory and, more importantly, get some breathing room. A couple players down for cramps. So with respect to now 6 teams in the MLR, more chance for rivalries. These teams will inevitably meet again. If you know that this team had your number, if you know your opponent had your number, really had your number today, if you're New England, you think about that the next time you go, or do you take this with a grain of salt that this is the first week of your season? They've had 1 week under their belts, given the stakes as well for losing to Anthem. Where do you land on that?
You ever watch what's that TV show? Ted Lasso. You ever watch Ted Lasso?
Of course.
Of course, yep. You need to have the memory of
like
a goldfish. You need to have the memory of a goldfish. You cannot dwell on this. I mean, even in game, you got to be able to move on to the next job. But certainly, I mean, if you're New England, you'll look at some of this in the video room throughout the week. But for the most part, you're going to try to put this one behind you, and you're going to move on to the next job, because you really have to rebound. You have to be resilient. You can't dwell on it. You got to move forward. That's the reason why that rearview mirror is so small, right? You got to be looking at what's in front of you. And so for the Free Jacks, they're going to be looking at their next job. They'll learn from it, like I said, and maybe the next time they see California back home in New England, they'll play with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. They owe them one for sure, but the biggest thing is going to be that they've got to find their own rhythm, and they got to look internally to do that, to be able to actually hand California what they hope to hand them back home in New England.
Somebody's got to be the Jamie Tart then. We'll find out who that is. Legion have been really informed today. Ryan James picks that up off the errant pass. Go back to New England.
By all accounts, Jamie Tart very well might be Nathan Salmon, although I have to say, we have not called his name on this broadcast at all, and that is a shame, not only for him, but for New England fans who really, he's been hyped up quite a bit. Everybody we've spoken to from New England has talked about him, the youngster that with tons of potential, lots of spark, lots of flair, and we have not been able to see him work any of that magic yet today.
There's still time. Here he is now, trying to wrestle forward. Big hit from Poitevin. In good form. McVeigh. Look back there for Sylvia. pass got away from him. Billy Meeks takes a tumble over top of Hodgson. Two veteran players going at it with their new respective franchises.
Red in front, stop! Five, stop.
More recent for Hodgson than was for Meeks. A return here for Latu.
Backwards by Red, play on, it was backwards by Red.
McVeigh loses the handle, imploring that maybe there was something going on there. It doesn't matter. Here's Steph Crimp on the run. Steph Crimp, the exclamation point for what has been a gorgeous day on the pitch for the Legion.
They made the pointing is unnecessary. 21.
Wow. I don't think anybody saw this coming. But I do appreciate our referee right now having a word with Steph Crimp and asking him, is that kind of stuff necessary? Just saying, hey, fella, you know, you just came on the field. Let's have none of that. Let's have none of that. But what a score from California, and what a statement. And look at this. I don't even feel bad for Free Jacks fans. I mean, really and truly, like, how could you feel bad for them? They won the past 3 titles.
Yeah.
Nobody's sitting here feeling bad for them. The only thing I said was they're feeling bad for themselves. Right? If you're New England, you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourselves right now, because this is definitely not the start you wanted. But, I mean, geez, what a turnaround for the California Legion after last week.
Yeah, this is a statement for the Legion. And Milne just off. And he's been excellent today as well. Waffle House Rugby Club. Don't overthink it. So go to Waffle House.
Not to make more fish references, because you know we made a few throughout the broad, but like, was last week a fluke? Like with California losing to Anthem, was that a total fluke? I mean, time will tell for sure. But right now, this California team is looking red hot, beating the defending champions.
Okay, use it, Red.
I thought you were going to go with the band reference. I was like, I didn't know you were a Fish fan.
Oh, the band. They are a good band, though. To be fair, they are a very good band. Yes.
You're not hanging out for like the 4-day residency.
No, I'm not that big of a fan. I'm not that level. I've heard a bit of their songs, I think, years ago, and I do appreciate some of it. It's very mellow, very, we'll say, culture that fits, I think, the lifestyle of people watching from California right now is generally, or New England, if you're out like on the Cape and you're surfing out in Cape Cod or Nantucket or wherever you live out there and you're just enjoying the beach vibes. It's got that sort of mellow rhythm to it.
Our colleague down Stanford he has the outfits for Fish concerts.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And he lives in San Diego, so he's got that chill vibe to him. Will Hooley he's probably not a Fish fan. I don't know if they made their way across the pond like that.
Can't speak to that, but Down Stanford has shared his wardrobe with all of Torero Stadium, I think, as we mentioned. So, a bunch of Fish fans out there sharing in that enjoyment of this game.
Oh, he's in front of you. Block the tackle.
Keenan Higgins bring the tackle there.
It's over here. Yeah, nowhere near the mark.
So with that, Mike, there's plenty of options for potential player of the game, especially for who you think that might be here today. What would you land on?
Yeah, there's been so many standout performances right now for California. I mean, we'll start with Ryan James has been electric with the ball in hand. Bertrand's been the pulse of it, but I want to give a shout out to this guy right here, Joe Taufete'e. I mean, someone you mentioned, he's coming from NOLA. He was unemployed by all accounts, and he's one of the best hookers in the world. At one point, he was out there with the likes of, like, his name was in line with Keith Wood from Ireland, like the legendary Keith Wood from Irish Rugby. And Joe Taufete'e playing for the USA, playing top 14 in France, playing Premiership in England. I mean, he was up there with the best of them, and he's just sitting there without a team in the offseason. And now here he comes, putting in a performance like that today, leading from the front in this California Legion pack. I mean, he's done wonders to get himself the player of the match for today's game. So he has been outstanding by all accounts.
Yeah, he got the party started for this group. One of the heart and soul, we talked about that when things are kind of unraveling for California, he is the bright white smile that everybody looks to for when things go awry. Well, everything's gone right for California today. You can't really point to anything that would be a mistake-ridden phase even. This has been, by all accounts, I mean, what would you say? This has been a pretty clean win.
This has been absolutely clinical from California. I mean, from all aspects of the game, they have dominated. They have starved New England of possession. There have been moments of brilliance, don't get me wrong, from New England, but they haven't been able to string it together consistently. And maybe that's an indication of, like you said, first game jitters. California's already had one under their belt. They've had video to review, and here they are playing quick in the 78th minute. I mean, they are just wanting every aspect of playing with the ball today.
Look at this hustle. Right down to the end zone. Finally collected mercifully for the Free Jacks by Wilson.
And that look right there on Hodgson's face next to Mitch Wilson just said it all, I think. That exhaustion in that San Diego sun. Looking at a scoreboard that's showing you down 43 points to 5. I mean, having not much to work with. If you're Joel Hodgson and you're playing fly half, this has just been a long day at the office for you, not being able to do much of anything.
Billy Meeks takes a horse's stride. California still trying to pour it on here late. You see the effort out of this group. Almost another chance for the big fella, Declan Laney, to find another try.
And you hear the boos. I mean, look, you got to boo when the front row forward finds himself with 30 meters of grass in front of him, and you call it back for a forward pass. I mean, that's like highlight reel stuff. That's what they live for. When you play in the front row and your job is to stick your head in that scrum every single moment of the game, and then all of a sudden the ball just miraculously lands up in your hands, and you're running with so much space in front of you and you get called back. Oh man, that's gut-wrenching. That's
just
the worst.
Let
him run. Just let him go.
When the big boys score in football, you call it a thick 6. At least I do. I don't know if you can call it a thick 5. We got to figure out something that rhymes better than that for the big fellas. Nice pass on the outside. New England, not without trying for the effort. Played back for Latu. And intercepted along the way by Joey Mano. Into the injury time we go. The hay is in the barn. California will get their first win of the season. 43-5, unless you get an extra layer on top of this thing.
That's full time, Jess.
Mike Lawrenson indicating that's full time. It's a home win for California Legion. They take down the Free Jacks. And for the first time in the 2025 season, the Supporters Cup, the old mate trades hands in favor of California. And what a way to do it. In style, Mike Petrie.
Style is right. I mean, looking good in red. They are just firing on all cylinders, red hot as their red jerseys. A scoreline like that, I don't think anyone saw that coming. But wow. Outstanding performance from California through and through. And a lot of work to do for the New England Free Jacks to defend their title throughout the rest of the season. But Joey, this is only the second week of play. There's a lot of rugby in this league ahead of us, and don't ever count out the New England Free Jacks.
No doubt. You know, they lost the first 3 matches of the season last year. Different circumstances. I think that team was pretty together, but they didn't have that cohesion. This team is very new, so it might take a little bit of that maturation period. Who knows how long that'll last to really get into your groove. But for California, this team at times maybe stapled together. They found a way to really show that they're together.
Speaking of finding a groove, can you hear in the background of the stadium right now that California knows how to party? You hear this? How good is this? I mean, they are throwing themselves a party here at Torero Stadium. They have found their groove, but like I said, they badly needed it. And here we go. Check it out. How about the fans getting involved in this one to hand this trophy over? Let's listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay around. We have
We can hear. Let's definitely listen.
Happening this afternoon with the Supporters Challenge. We're just waiting for one of our friends from New England to come down and and accept the cup, and we're going to have some beer and a good old time. So just hang out for a couple more minutes, and we'll get the show on the road.
Legion fans taking a look and see if there's any beverages inside the actual stein.
Am I speculating correctly here that they've invited some New England fans to come down to this podium to hand over this?
Is that what we're going to do every week? I really hope so.
I don't know, but somebody's listening when I said I want to get these people that are dressed up as a Free Jack and the people that are dressed up as the Legion cohort and have them do something. And here it is at the end of the game.
I really hope.
Oh, I hope this happens.
Well, we'll see what might transpire with the changing of the guard here.
We're waiting for someone like Paul Revere to walk up into this shot here.
There we go.
It's as close as we're gonna get. That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Fantastic. He knows he's got good taste. All right. We know the New England Free Jacks are a fantastic team.
The Supporters Cup, the old mate.
Congrats to Legion, obviously, for taking them down today. But this is all.
Did you ever have any trophies like this that you played for throughout the season to change hands?
We've got Legion supporters. We've got
There were some things back in the day, especially between the USA and Canada. Yes, there were definitely some.
Do you remember what the object was?
I think a shield. Nothing as fun as this. This is very fun.
There's the post-game prayer for both sides. A beautiful thing. You get to celebrate the celebratory beers
Sounds like you need some more. Wait,
tossed in.
And Ryan James lending a hand.
Like,
Yes.
let me top it off.
Let me help you out.
That's a lot of foam.
primed and ready. Sean, what do you think? Should we let Kenny do the honors first?
Kenny like forever. We've become good friends in rugby, also the love of rugby. It's fantastic. It's good to see him again. Awesome to see you, Sean. Great seeing you, great guys.
See, that's what it's all about.
All right, now let's drink some beer.
A celebratory stein. The old mate sharing with some mates. We'll go to break. Post-game rolls on with interviews here on ESPN.
We wanted to put out a performance that our fans, family, and our supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.
an incredible finish to a wonderful day, and the old mate has been trained. That is a great foam mustache, a sign of victory for the Legion and the Free Jacks. Jason Dahm joins us now with the old mate. Thank you for joining us, Jason. What a bounce back for your group from last week, Fawn Anthem this week. I mean, you guys looked like stalwarts. It was an incredible effort. What can you say about your group today?
Yeah, just really proud of the effort, and like you said, the bounce back. You know, for us this whole week, the message was we're not defined by one game or one performance. Rings true last week, it rings true this week. You know, we still got a lot of work to do. Just one win in the column, so keep chasing them.
Jason, congratulations. It's been fun watching you all play. Like we talked about, that rebound was huge, but come on, give us as unfiltered as you can for ESPN. What are you saying as the captain after your team loses to Anthem in week 1?
Oh man, it's you know, anytime I hate losing, that's why we all compete, right? We all hate losing, but the reason that you can find success is just by putting the loss, you know, taking what you can from it, moving forward. So there were definitely words had in the locker room. You know, I might have had a couple, but I just want to lift chins, man, and move forward. We got a lot of games in the run here, so fire the boys up for this one. They responded well.
Spoken like a true leader, calm and composed. I absolutely love it. So let's focus on this game for a moment. A lot of fun out there. You could tell from the smile on your face. Lots of smiling fans there in Torero Stadium. Lots of moments throughout the game that you could pick, I'm sure. But tell me, as a captain, watching your teammates around you, what was your favorite moment from today's game?
Yeah, for me, it was the ending there. It might sound a little bit cliche, not the win, but at the end of the first half, we had a lot of great momentum, and then I think we got a little higher on our horse and got a yellow card and let them put one in. Here this game, we took a lot of momentum with us. We had a moment there near the end of the second half where they had an opportunity in our end, and we buckled up. We said, job's not done, you know, don't take the foot off the pedal, and the boys stuck in and kept them out.
So your favorite moment at the end was, that's a great answer, but those two old guys leading the supporters clubs wasn't your favorite moment?
Hey, they're great. They fire us up. They fire us up for sure.
I love it. Well,
there's none in
Jason,
here for me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, that thing might need a rinse out as well, but the Supporters Cup lays in the hands of the Legion. Jason Dahm, the captain for California, joining us. Thank you, Jason. Good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks, fellas.
Awesome effort by this California Legion group here today. Mike, what else can you say? That was a trouncing of the three-peat champions, and maybe, well, at least definitely a very good first impression.
Yeah, really. I mean, nothing more to say here about this game other than that was just a showcase for California Legion. A lot of work to do for New England, but I'm going to end the same way you did. Talk about that ending there with a fan from New England and a fan from California, and that's what I love about this game, is just the camaraderie and the respect that exists within the sport. The game happens on the field. Once that final whistle blows, it's all over. You're all together in friendship, celebrating the game you love, and that's a thing that I think is very special about what we do.
We're lucky we get a second interview with our player of the match, Joe Tafatee. I want to make sure I say your name right while you're on the headset, Joe. Joe T, Big Joe, thank you for joining us. Big try today to get the party started for your group. What can you say about how the boys played today? This was a really impressive win.
Yeah, man, you said it. Like, I think I just don't deserve to be here. It came down to the forwards, right? Like, fronting up early in the first 10 minutes, first 20 minutes, and just repeating that effort the second we get done with the water break. And, yeah, it showed early on and kept the pedal on the gas and got the result.
Joe, it's Mike Petrie. Congratulations on your performance today and on the win. I love the smile when you hear that. It's so good. But, man, I got to be honest, I'm jealous watching you still run around. It's hard to sit here and watch from the booth, but I'm glad you're enjoying yourself so much. And speaking of fun, I got a fun question for you. You've enjoyed a career that's taken you around the globe. You've played in some tremendous places, arguably had access to some of the best post-game meals, meat pies in England, croissants in France. But let's focus on your recent career. Post-game, what are you going for? Jambalaya back in New Orleans or burrito in California? What are we going for?
I mean, it's a tough one, but obviously when you get into California, it's either a California burrito or straight to In-N-Out. for 2 double-doubles and animal fries with a strawberry milkshake. That is
Give him a
go-to.
sponsorship. In-N-Out. If you're listening, get on X. Give this guy a sponsorship. He's out there eating your meals post-game, putting in a performance like that. Joe, I couldn't agree more. As an East Coaster, I'm jealous of a lot of things, and one of them is, without a doubt, In-N-Out Burger. We just don't have anything that lives up to it over here, pal.
100%.
Joe, Mike's not telling you that he actually had that as a pregame meal, but you just did a ton of work, so you'd actually deserve that meal after this.
Yeah, definitely the stop on the way home.
Well, thank you, Joe. We really appreciate your time. Good luck next week, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
A really incredible performance out of California Legion. We appreciate Joe joining us. Take a look at what's coming up here for Major League Rugby next week. New England is back at home in Quincy to take on Old Glory. Anthem takes on Seattle, and the Sunday Night Rugby to finish out. It's Chicago hosting California fresh off a win. Mike, thank you so much for your effort today. What an incredible way to finish out. California gets their first win of the season. An impressive bout, 43-5 over New England. For Mike Petrie, I'm Joey Lindstrom and our entire crew. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a presentation of Major League Rugby. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Globant, the official digital transformation partner of Major League Rugby. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
that our fans, family, and supporters could be really proud of.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unapologetic, united. Major League Rugby.